welcome to our March agent meeting. We are recording this for those that cannot attend, so we're excited to have those of you here virtually and those of you here in the office. Somebody just walked in right now. Who walked in? Hey, all right, so we're gonna get started. I hope that you are all very proud of yourselves. I'm going to skip ahead to State of the Community. We had our best February ever, and I'm just so excited about how well everyone is doing right now, and how hard you guys are working on your businesses. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But as we get settled in and started on this month's meeting, let's talk about our markets. Those of you that are out there working it, realize what a crazy world we find ourselves in. So let's look at the figures and the numbers. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. I don't know why this always reverts back after I select everything. So this is our entire area for the month of February. Wow, it is starting out a little low. So we've got 337 houses active as of the end of February. So as of 2 days ago, 337 houses on the market in all areas, in all price ranges. 332 of those are listings that were written last month. So it's a little tight out there for those of you with buyers. One of the things I'm going to talk to Eric about a little bit later, he's our spotlight agent this month, is how he is winning bids in multiple offer situations and scenarios. What are the little extra things that he's doing to make his clients stand out and get his offers considered? So average days on market is 26 days. That is just not a lot of time. And price per square foot about 137, which is up a little bit. Our average price still hanging right around 180 for us in our area. So not bad at all. Let's break that down here to our, oh, that's January. Interesting. So our absorption rate, 1.1 months, guys. And percent of asking price received still so very high. And those of you that have had contracts accepted in the last 30 to 60 days, I'm sure we'll all tell the same story. I don't think anybody's getting them under asking. Almost everything I've seen is over asking. So yeah, our market still remains extremely tight. Extremely tight. So that being said, let's talk about Community Realty. So this month we had 12 closings, Kelly. I actually put one of Kelly's in this month, but it was last month. So we had 12 closings in February, which is definitely a company record. So thank you guys for all of your hard work. Our top agents were Danny and Narmeen. So I'm excited to see them toppled. Neither of them are on the meeting right now. So guys, start strategizing. Okay, time to take them down. Time to have somebody else's name on top. Whose will it be? Whose will it be? All right. I want to start off with doing just some small successes. I think that it's so important for us to stay in a place where we're grateful for each other and grateful for the opportunities that we have. Especially right now, our world is a little crazy, not just in real estate, but everywhere right now, a little nuts. So let's put ourselves in a frame of mind where we're grateful and we're thankful. I'm going to start off and tell you guys how grateful and thankful I am for you. Last month was really difficult for me and my family. We lost my dad, and I left in a moment's notice to drive to Texas with my family, and I did not have one thought or hesitation about how my company was going to run when I was gone. And it allowed me to focus on my family and on taking care of my mom, who we all love, because you guys are just amazing. You're amazing agents. We have amazing leadership in our country, in our company. And I am just so grateful that we're here for each other. You guys have all been here for me. You have all been just incredible. So thank you so much for the good times and the bad, and being the people that you are. So who else would like to say thanks? You can unmute yourself and have at it. Or you guys can talk here too.
I don't really, oh, just
Go ahead.
Raise your hand. Sorry, I'm always like interrupting people.
You are not. Go.
So I don't necessarily have a thank you, but I just want to give a shout out to Kirsten, who's not here because she's at her first closing. And I don't know if we're recording this.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so yay, Kirsten. That's all I wanted to say.
Awesome, awesome. Anybody, who else?
Well, I'm grateful to Kelly because she continues to answer all my calls and all my questions very, very patiently and enthusiastically.
Yay! And your condo's under contract, isn't it?
I've actually got 2 people under contract, and they're both condos, one buyer, one seller.
Oh yeah, your Tennessee deal. Your Tennessee lady got her deal off.
She got her bid accepted, and if we're going to talk about that, I'll tell you guys about that one too, because she started with an underbid and she won.
Did she?
Yeah, we used an escalation clause because I was a little concerned
Right.
about the appraisal, so I can tell you if we get.
Yeah, we'll get towards that towards the end. All right, anybody else thankful? I'm gonna do the preacher silent thing. I feel like there's one more out there that needs the, no, I'm just kidding. I'm married to a preacher, so I can do those kinds of
I'm thankful for you, Jen. Because I call you in all sorts of the night and you always answer, so I appreciate it
Oh,
a lot.
thank you. Awesome. Okay, so guys, just stay grateful. Oh, Jessica, were you gonna say something? I saw you on mute. I saw that on mute.
I was going to say, I am thankful for the way that you're expanding community realty. So been able to work in this title company now, and I'm learning like so much, but it's just a huge thing that we're offering to our clients and our community to be able to do that next piece. And so I'm super thankful that you're willing to branch out and take these risks, and you and Kelly have been behind all of that. So thank you guys.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been definitely wild. We are actually, we're going to talk about some new adventures that we're having, and the first one that I had on my list was Clear Title. Guys, we have 9 orders in right now, and so thank you for giving us a shot to earn your business. We are so excited to serve you and service you. We have our website up, so if you haven't seen it, go cleartitle.com, and that's clear with a K. You can see our website, you can order title online, and you can, if you are working with out-of-town buyers, you can have them send their earnest money to us online digitally. So we actually received our first digital earnest money yesterday. I know I was so excited. I called Kelly, oh my God, she's like, what happened? I'm like, no, we just got some earnest money. Digitally. It's so exciting. And that's a huge thing, guys. Just as our average agent or our average client becomes younger and younger, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they don't have checkbooks. They just don't. They're used to using a card for everything. So being able to say, hey, you can go to our website and send us your earnest money is going to become larger and larger as we go. Not to mention the ease when you're working with people that are out of town or out of state, which is also something that's much more likely to happen as we see an increase of people coming to our area because of its affordability compared to the rest of the country. So being able to offer that to your clients is amazing. Being able to order your title online is amazing. If you get stuck on the online order form or you get confused or anything, you can always email orders to us as well at docs@gocleartitle.com. And that goes to all 3 of us. So one of us will get that input in. If we have any questions, we'll reach out. Okay. So yeah, what else? Community Realty Property Management. We were trying to launch last month. with everything that happened with me, that kind of didn't happen as quickly as we wanted. So we're launching for real this month, guys. We are ready to take on people that have investment properties. If you or you're working with clients that are purchasing investment properties, or you know other investors that have properties and are looking for a really good property management company, which if you talk to many investors, you will find that. Are there any? He's here. Just sorry. Squirrel. It's really hard to find a good property management company. It just is. So we are here to provide full service, 24-hour emergency services, and just really give people the kind of landlord and tenant experience that they're looking for. So if you know anybody, please talk to myself or Ashley or I'm gonna swerve.
The elusive
Ryan
is here.
Ryan is
I
here.
know.
Look at that. Look at that. We are working together to make property management, just like we're making real estate, turned upside down and much better for it. So contact us. All right, I do want to talk to everybody. I feel like I'm talking a lot, and this is one of the things I really miss about everybody being in the office, because you're all on mute. You don't say anything, but it's okay. I mean, I'm still talking. But I want to talk about some community realty planning stuff. One, we are going to start launching new agent trivia nights. So we have been working or we have been presenting at Holloway Real Estate School, working with agents that are in school to become agents. And we thought a great way to help them study for their exam would be to do a trivia night, because who doesn't like trivia? Exactly. Everyone. Ryan doesn't like trivia.
That would have been so helpful when I was doing stuff. I always wanted a study buddy.
Right? So we're going to just do kind of an informal little trivia night where we get together, have some drinks, and quiz each other on stuff that's going to be on the state exam. So if you know anybody that's considering real estate and they're maybe going to school online, or they're considering a career in real estate and they've started their classes, let them know. I'm going to publish when that is. I think it's going to be the second Thursday of the month. I'm working with Kelly and Danny to nail that down specifically, but that should be coming out in the next week. So
Awesome.
take a look at that. The other thing that I want to do is offer out to you guys, maybe 2 or 3 people getting together and really starting to plan out our events, what we want to do, what festivals do we want to make sure everybody's aware of and have representation at, what fairs, what do we want to do here at the building. So if you are the kind of person that really their jam is to plan events, and you want to help us get that information out to our realtors and agents and get us more out into the community, what are we creating, what are we building here for our community, to reach them, please let me know. Again, I'm looking for like 2 to 3 people to kind of form a little planning committee, and then we will work together to get information out to our larger agent population so that we can all really start. I'm going to put us all up here so everybody can see. There we go. I'm still going to talk to the camera though. I have less of a double chin that way. It's true. It's true. So that we can all make things amazing for us. It's a great way for us to get out in the community, get our name out there, and for us to also get leads as we're building KV Core, which we're going to talk about in a second. But next, I just want to talk about the March challenge. So nobody actually wrote $1 million in listings in February, which is okay. A lot of people wrote listings in February. Most of them are already sold. So that's fun. But for March, we're going to do it again. If you write $1 million in listings, you got to list houses, because that's what we really need. If anybody writes $1 million, I'm going to give you $100 cash at our April meeting. Okay. A crisp $100 bill, y'all. Make it rain. So that is our March challenge. Who is going to write $1 million in listings? I see Alan's hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a text message.
What?
What?
You're writing $1 million.
I'm gonna do it.
Ashley likes to win everything. I'm really actually shocked and a little disappointed that she didn't write
I
$1
am
million this month.
disappointed in me. I don't know what happened there.
It's fine.
I had a plan,
It's
but
fine.
you know,
It's fine. It's fine.
didn't work.
No. So write $1 million, guys. $1 million in listings. That can be one listing. That can be 2 listings. It could be 5 listings. Eric wrote a $400,000 listing. And got
Nice.
that under contract already. So bravo. We're going to talk to Eric a little later in the meeting about what is going on in his world. So I'm really excited about that. But write $1 million this month. I will give you $100 cash money. Not to mention, if you write $1 million in listings, how much commission is that? That's
A
like
lot.
basically cap, dude. That's
Yeah.
cap. And then you're in the 100% club. KV Core. We rolled out KV Core yesterday. I'm not going to say it was flawless. It was a little bumpy, but we did get rolling on it, and we got through a good part of the Agent Quick Start training program. So if you missed it, I'm going to be posting what we did in the Community Relief Family Facebook page this afternoon. And if you don't want to watch that, you can at least log into your KV Core account. Everybody has access to KV Core for the next 30 days for free. Log into your KV Core account and start the Agent Quick Start program. You'll see it on the right top corner of your dashboard page. So start working through that. We got through the goals. If anybody needs the goal setting sheet, I've got some printed out here at the office if you like paper copies, or you can download it yourself in the Agent Quick Start. So definitely take advantage of that. We also are trying to set up accountability. So if you are looking for someone to help hold you accountable to your goals in real estate, your goals in KV Core, please reach out and let me know, or pick another agent that you're close to and say, hey, let's help each other reach those goals that we're trying to get to. Okay. It's one of the best ways for you to stay on track for your goals for the year. Oh no. My Remarkable went to sleep. There we go. Okay. I am also standing in for Danny, who is our Agent Advancement Coordinator. She is currently with Kirsten at her very first closing. Let's all cheer for Kirsten real quick. Woo! Yeah. Ryan, did you not cheer?
You did not cheer.
Ryan did an invisible cartwheel.
Yeah, it's cheering.
Kirsten was your best woman in our wedding. I can't believe you didn't cheer.
The cutting up never ends. So Agent Advancement Coordinator would like for you guys to know, we would love for you to, if you feel comfortable, provide shadowing opportunities for newer agents or people that just want to learn how other people do things. So if you are going on a listing appointment or showing clients homes, and you would not be opposed to having someone shadow you and watch how you do things, please post that in the Community Relief Facebook group. And that way people can contact you, reach out, and tag along. Shadow, not tag along, shadow, and come with you and learn how you do things. It is great for us all to see how things are done. If you remember back to when you were a new agent, how beneficial it was for you to see how different people do different things. It helps you find your own voice and helps you find what works for you. So if you would consider shadowing, please post appointment days or times in the Community Realty Facebook family group. And if you would like to go a step further and actually mentor a new agent, We are expecting to have several new agents starting here in the next month or two. So if you are interested in mentoring, please reach out to myself or Danny. We are building a whole beautiful checklist and system for mentors so that you know that you are on track with your mentee and doing all the right things and checking all the right boxes so that we can get them up, making money and being successful real estate agents. Because guys, as you know, my philosophy, there's always enough business for us. We just have to find it and we just have to go get it. There's enough business for us to add new agents. We just have to train them how to find it and to go get it. And we're the best people to do that. So if you're interested in being a mentor, contact me or Danny. And lastly, her update is for affiliates. She's bringing affiliates in to introduce them to the new agents and help the new agents learn what our different affiliates do. Her first one is the 11th of March, and she's bringing Stacy Willison in from Michigan First Mortgage. She will be talking about what programs they have. This is open for all of us. I believe Stacy, if we have enough people that will come in, will actually feed us and bring us lunch. So if you are interested in seeing Stacy at lunch on 3/11, which I believe is a Monday.
It's a Friday, I think.
Oh, is it?
I think it's a
Is it
Friday.
a Friday?
Yeah, I think the 5th is this Saturday, the 12th is the following Saturday.
Look at
So
you.
the 11th. would
She's
be-
correct. The 11th is a Friday, not a Monday. I think February 11th or 12th was a Monday.
Jen, we'll be gone that day from 11 for that interview too.
Oh, we will. I forgot to mention that Clear Title, guys, is partnering with Shelly Starr and what is her company?
Supreme.
Thank you, Supreme. I was like, I couldn't think of what it was. Sorry, Shelly. We're partnering with Supreme Lending to do some commercial spots on, they'll run on WLNS and WILX. And we're going to be talking about Clear Title and how important title insurance is for people. So it's just to get our name out there, and it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, we will be gone from 11 to 2 that day, but you guys won't. So if you want to come in and hear Stacy, who is also a great little mortgage person, she will be bringing you lunch, but you have to let Danny know, and you have to show up if you say you're going to show up. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to turn the talking to Kelly. She's going to talk to you about some managing broker stuff. Go, Kelly.
Bad cop time. Okay, so most of my stuff has to do with brokerment, guys. The first one is I have in the checklist created dates approximately before, after certain situations, like so many days after accepted offer, so many days before closing. Please do not go in there and change those dates in the task. If you want the dates to change, you need to change your close by date because your date is changing. Because when you do that, that unchecks things from being read when you're behind. And if they're not read, you may not know that they need to be done. So please do not manually change the dates in the task list. If you need a date change, change your close by date. The next one is in the closing checklist, there is an item called commission statement. It is assigned to either the initials KG for me or CR for Community Realty. If for some reason it is unchanged, that task is not for you. So don't try to upload different docs to that thing. That's me actually getting into the back end of the software and entering your commission statement and the breakdown of it. Okay. So on the closing checklist, the commission statement is not yours to do or worry about. I always love it when you write notes and can't read your handwriting. The next thing is we're having a lot of people who are doing closings that I don't know if you're not attending the closings. Sometimes they're remote and you're not doing the closings, but The official Community Realty dealio is that checks and final closing docs have to be submitted within 1 business day of that closing. 1 business day, not 2, not 5, not 10. That means also that all of your items that were in red should be uploaded and approved, okay? So if you have anything that's in red after your closing, it's your responsibility to make sure those are taken care of. Which kind of leads me into the third thing is that I really need you to be uploading your docs as you go in the transaction, and to remember to go to that green button at the top of the checklist and submit them for review. I'm seeing in a lot of people's checklists that they may have uploaded the document, but didn't submit it for review. So it's not coming onto my task to actually approve and look at. Okay. So please upload as you go and make sure you're using that submit button under the action tab. And the last one is, again, just if your closing date is changing, make sure you're monitoring that and going in and changing the close by date in that first edit screen. I track upcoming closings that way. And so that's really important for my task list and to stay on top of stuff. But so really just the key takeaways are to make sure you're uploading docs as you go so that I can be looking at those. Ideally, I should have everything in your task list approved before you go to closing, or you only need 1 or 2 more items. It is really hard in the market moving this quickly for agents to respond to you after a closing. Okay, so if you're missing something and missing a signature, missing anything that you don't have before closing, it's really hard to get after closing. So please, all those documents really do need to be submitted before closing. That's it.
Yes. Kelly, I just have a silly question. Can you print? Is there a print?
Wait, I can't quite hear.
Is there a print function for the checklists? I sometimes am kind of old school and like to actually print a thing, have kind of a folder or whatever. Is there a way to print those?
Unfortunately, we have not found a way to print the checklist yet. About the best thing you do is probably do a screen share and print that.
Make up my own. Okay.
Yeah.
There's like an app that you can use. It's called Snipping Tool. If you have like a regular computer,
Yeah.
that one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Snipping tool.
Right.
Where after you snip it, where the heck do you find where it went?
It stays
Wherever
in
you
that
tell
little
it to
thing
save.
until you hit save. It'll automatically be copied, so you can paste that into an email, but it'll automatically be on your copy, but you just would have to save as.
Oh, so you have it. You just have to. So when it does that, you have it, and now you just have to paste it. Is that right?
You can paste it, or you can just hit you can just hit the file and then save the document.
You do a save
Okay.
as, and then you tell it which folder you want it to save as.
Yeah.
To be saved in.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. And then I'll take a look at it too. I might be able to copy it and get it into a PDF that we can put in the Brokerman
The only
library.
problem with that is, I mean, they change occasionally, right? We
Yeah, they
add
do.
stuff, we delete stuff, we move stuff from one. So I just would have I would caution people to have one printed and then not realize that something else got changed on it. So it
Good point.
really does behoove you to use the actual app. You can also download it on your phone so you can have it. So you have it like
There's
all
an
the
app.
time.
Yeah.
How do we find the app? Do we
Go
You
to
just
your
go to whatever your
Play
app store
Store
is
or
and
App Store.
download Brokerman.
And search for Brokerman.
Okay.
All right.
Same with
That's cool.
KB4. You can also download that to your phone too.
Mhm.
And you'll want to do that too. Okay, so thank you very much, Kelly. We will all strive to Brokerment better. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Please make Kelly's life easier. Some people are so noisy, Ryan.
You don't really
Okay.
want a grumpy Kelly. That's not a good combination.
You don't want a
Sorry.
grumpy Kelly. Trust me.
I'm totally guilty at some point. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay, so now I want to take a time. We're gonna start doing a spotlight agent every month. And this month I really was super excited to talk to Eric about what's going on in his business and a few things that he has really focused on and worked on so hard that he's now reaping the benefits of. He is really exploding on the scene and kind of, I don't know, taking over St. John and the St. John market. So I wanted to take a few minutes to just talk to Eric and let him talk to you guys and tell you a little bit about what he's doing. So first of all, Eric, congratulations on your
Thanks.
gigantic listing that sold in how many days? 3 days?
The way I like to do it is list on a Wednesday and make final decision on a Sunday with an open house on a Saturday. Works every time.
Yeah. So he listed a 400, 390, what was it listed at? 398, 399?
398, and the winning offer was 435 with the escalation clause of 10,000 over any other offer. But of course, they didn't write anything about being over appraisal, so they wrote a sexy offer without putting that part in there.
Yeah.
So then you got to do the math with the people that will say they're over appraisal. But yeah, it'll appraise and it'll go for the 435.
Fantastic.
So 37 over.
So, Eric, can you tell me a little bit about where you were in December of 2021? We had some pretty serious conversations, didn't we?
Yep. Well, I mean, I spent the whole year just busting my butt and laying all the groundwork. So like, and I have all these different steps I wanted to hit. Like when we talked that one time with Melanie, all these
Yeah.
other mini goals, but the mini goals quit making me happy because after the year I didn't hit any of the big stuff yet. So the mini goals for me were, I always want listings, and so I actually started a magazine so I could have the back outside cover and write a real estate article. It goes to every single home and business in St. John's. I have a printing background, and also I write some of the articles and do some of the design. So, and then I help prepare it for mail. And then I joined I'm on the board of directors at the Chamber of Commerce in St. John's. I was the Mint Festival chair for the entertainment, which is just hiring all the bands and running the band shell. And so, but the problem is I'd been doing that and it's like crap. And then of course, Jen tells me, look, it's been right about 3 months that you've been hitting them hard, so it will start to pop. My problem is every time we talk about thinking about how happy the future is going to be, I have trouble with that. And so about on the 3-month mark, after I'd really been hitting St. John's hard and many other ways, I mean, I went to the craft show and handed out business cards. I handed out like, I don't know, 800. This craft show was jam-packed. So a lot of that kind of stuff. I put door hangers in some areas. All that stuff. I did some postcard mailings, and then it finally started to pop. And so that's the two things I have going now is all of a sudden I got a call. We're going to interview several realtors, and we saw your full page ad. We don't know you, but it must mean you're serious. That's why it's true. I wanted a full page ad on the back cover. And so I knew if I got there first, then he wouldn't be interviewing any other agents, because the sales part is the part I'm good at. And so right away, and then they referred me to their neighbor, which I'll be listing within a month at 398 and selling for probably 440 as well. And then that neighbor, their father passed away last fall. And so right now I'm doing a net proceeds sheets for him. I'm getting ready to list a nice ranch in St. John's in May. And then the other way I was hitting St. John's is I try to do a lot of more interesting stuff with Facebook. So I use like my photography, and then I try to tie it into something from St. John's. And so organic, as my media guy says, instead of spending money, I share it to like all these different St. John's and Clinton County stuff. And then they respond like crazy because of my photos. Well, somebody that saw that sort of stuff that I went to high school with. I'm going to be listing within probably a couple weeks another really nice ranch, 1,100 square feet, great shape, next door to the home I grew up in St. John's. And then one last one is also through that. There's a 24-acre farm with a kind of it needs a lot of work, farmhouse cash type deal, but out by Uncle John's, like almost right next door.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the exciting part, is because I've always been after listings. But what got me off the ledge though, before that happened, was when you signed up for OpCity, and the difference, of course, from Realtor.com leads is OpCity, Realtor.com, they put you on the phone live. And so I honestly, I probably overdid it because I wanted to get the 3 transactions
Yeah.
right away. So we started it. I got a call right away on the 15th, and they wanted to close before the end of December.
And you did.
I pulled that off. And then so real quick, before I talk about the offers, so when these people get on the phone, what I did is you talk about Shelly. Well, I hooked up with CJ.
Mhm.
CJ Quealy works under her.
Yeah.
At Supreme Lending. So when I get on the phone, I don't beat them up. I know how to get to the pre-approval letter part. And so I'm like, hey man, I'm not throwing up any roadblocks, but I got a buddy with just a couple phone calls. We can talk about getting you a pre-approval letter. I'm not holding you up, but I got to have it. They want to see it, to see homes and to write them, and to write offers. And so then CJ loves me. He's sending me spreadsheets. So when I hand them off to CJ, if they're a couple months away, he keeps the contact going with them, and then he
Right.
throws it back to me. And so working very closely with CJ. Now, I don't know that lenders are a great referral source, but it will be if somebody in his family, but so it's like we work as a team.
Right.
And then so they like me right away because of all this extra attention, because a lot of people that take those phone leads, they don't speak well on the phone. They're not energetic. I had many tell me how much they appreciate me after my first call, because I'm like, I act like I'm awake and I act energized and talk to them.
Right.
On the offers thing, I don't know that it's according to Hoyle, but I'll fly through that. That one in December, I was a cash offer, but I knew I wasn't highest offer. And so I can tell you on every offer I've got, what's helped me is I call the listing agent before, during, and after, and while they're deciding. And so I called this person because I knew we weren't going to be high no matter what. We were offering exactly list. And
Yeah.
I'm like, look. And so I verbally said, look, inspections for Danny helped me with that. Informational purposes only. I won't ask for any reduction I won't ask for any repairs or reduction in price. It's just a yes or no thing. And they loved to hear that. And that's how I got that one. Even though there were higher offers, they all had inspections, and she thought that they were worried about it. It was an older home. Another one was up north. We went against an escalation clause, and up north, they don't like a lot of fancy stuff. So I called that agent, and I know she's an older person. I said, listen, that highfalutin. She goes, well, Eric, can you tell me what an escalation clause is? I'm like, I'll tell you, but it's that big city stuff. That's why you don't see it. She's like, do I need to get a lawyer? I'm like, and then and I said, listen, I already offered you. You're smart enough to know I offered you like $8,000 over. You already know we're at max appraisal. That escalation clause and all this weird stuff, just, you know what? I'm working with a veteran. He needs a home. Can you help me out? And she's like, that'll be a lot easier, but can you tell me how I tell them no? I said, yeah, no. You don't have to, just because she thought escalation clause meant she had to get a lawyer and respond all fancy. So got that one that way. And then just a couple more I'll tell you, because they're all kind of weird, and I don't know if it's, so also covering a lot of ground. Fortunately, that's what helps me, okay? I bought and sold in Mount Pleasant, Farwell, Elma a couple times, Harrison, up in Glennie right now. I did another one in Barrington. And so it helps me because I also have a cabin up north. But this guy had an FHA loan that he wanted to get this cabin, and they went cash only. I'm like, just let me call him. And that's what's helped me a lot is I kind of don't always go by what they say they want on the listing. I call him, he says, cash only. I know it's not. He goes, it's cash only. I'm like, just give me a chance. Not only is it not cash, it's going to be FHA. Hear me out. And I had a guy that used to be an FHA appraiser. I said, let him come in and fix the stuff. It's his risk if you walk away, but we did a separate amendment on it. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah.
And so he's going to fix the stuff. When FHA comes, he's going to fix what they say, and now he's going to use an FHA loan. So that was extra. Then last one, this duplex in Mount Pleasant, it's actually FHA is what you want for a duplex. And everybody's thinking FHA is so rotten and scary. FHA likes duplex. In fact, we even give you credit for the fact that you're probably going to rent the other side. And so I called the real estate agent right away on that. And I just made sure that he knew that he was going to have to fix the obvious stuff I saw, like handrails. So in short, there's a few more, but I'm sorry, not too long. It's mostly I just call the other agents and try to look for an angle.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That is exactly what you want to do in a highly competitive market. A couple things that I want to point out about Eric's journey over the last few months, and really he has pushed for probably 6 to 8 months really hard, is that
Kelly's like boundaries. Right.
Boundaries. Yeah.
I was burnt out bad, and I'm trying to get my brokerment straight. And I probably overdid it. Yeah.
You did.
But I had to get those 3 transactions, which are now more than 3, because then the city leads get better. So I chased every 60,000 and under out city lead is what happened.
Yeah. Which, everybody's got their own timing, but the thing that I really like about Eric and the point that he proves and makes is something that we've always said. When you get into real estate, what you're doing today is what is going to pay you 3 to 6 months down the road, right? The effort that you're putting in today is what is going to make we're in March, so it's going to be part of your June, July, and August paychecks. So it takes time to build this business. And sure, at the beginning, it's kind of peanuts, but you can see how quickly it can escalate, because all of this stuff for Eric, like Eric's going to list $1 million this month. I'm pretty sure I'm giving him $100. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm giving him $100 in April, because he has just got so many things going. And this isn't going to stop now, right? He invested. Yes, he has some connections in printing and was able to take out an ad and do some things. But the point is, he stuck with that one thing. And now that's been out there month after month. And now it's starting to pay dividends. The things that you start doing, one, you have to be consistent. You have to keep doing them in order for them to start paying out. You can't send one flyer or one postcard to an area and think, gosh, nobody called me. You send one this month, and then you send one next month, and then the next month you have Kona Ice come out and do a little truck thing. Like, you've got to be out there. They've got to see you several times before they're going to start coming up in their brain, and then they're going to start calling you. You just need to keep going. Eric, I think in December, was like, hey, I'm like ready to quit. I'm done. I've done enough. This isn't working. And we're like, no, just keep going. It's that old story, right? You don't want to quit drilling 1 foot below the oil. Right? You keep going. You will strike it. You just have to keep going. And sometimes it's right when you're the most tired. And when you guys are the most tired and you're ready to quit, I want you to call me, or I want you to call Kelly, or I want you to call Eric. I want you to call somebody and say, hey, I'm ready to be done. I'm done. And we can tell you and encourage you and inspire you to just keep going a little further. You just need to keep going a little bit longer. So thank you so much, Eric, for sharing what you've been through the last few months. And we are so excited to see your success. He's going to cap in his next transaction. And that is just
that's amazing.
It's amazing. It is
Good
amazing.
job.
I did want
Jen.
Yeah.
So one thing about that cap thing, is,
Yeah.
I didn't even know what the cap was.
He
or
didn't.
whatever.
I said to him, I texted him, I'm like, Eric, I'm so proud of you. You're going to cap with your next transaction. He goes, oh, great. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm on an 80-20 split? And I'm like, no, that means you get 100%.
Well, and that's what's
I
important.
have
'cause,
no
like,
idea. It was awesome.
what you're saying now, when you said before, when I was definitely struggling, and so I would get upset. I'm like, cap, oh my God, I just want to get a deal going, cap. I don't even know what it is or when I do it, because I'm never gonna fricking get there. And so I just kind of just put my head down and worked, and it would actually, I know it's bad. I guess I don't have a super positive enough attitude, but it's whenever I heard you say cap, or like that time Melanie got $1 million in a month, I go, and then of course, smart ass, you were like, that's only two $500,000 houses. But anyway, so I felt like it was so far away.
But here you are. I did also want to, I'm going to circle back real quick to KV Core, because we did start onboarding yesterday officially with all the agents. You guys launched March 1st, and Ashley launched March 1st. Or were you one of our early?
I started it. I put everything in last Friday.
Yeah.
And so
I let Ashley and Danny and Kelly get in just a couple days early so they could kind of forerun and kind of give you guys an idea of what is going to happen. So Ashley, tell me what happened.
So I put in all of our contacts, and then put them all in a campaign, and we've already, like, with me literally doing nothing other than putting them in that, the system has been constantly contacting them, like either texting them or calling them, and we're just constantly getting messages from people like, hey, I'm trying to find this property, or I'm looking for a summer home. People that I would not have gotten the time to get around to calling, because it's a lead that was old, and I'm not even sure I've ever talked to these people before. I'm not even sure where these leads came from.
And there's that.
Yeah, like I think they're from an offers.com list we bought a while ago. And it's just like nonstop over the last 3 days since I put everybody on and I don't even have everybody on a campaign. I think I've gotten through, out of 550 leads we put in, I've gotten through about 200 that are on a campaign, and it's just been like constant messages.
What is that, like 10, 15 people?
Yeah, like, and it's, they're just back and forth with me like, hey, I'm looking for a summer home in Houghton, can you help me?
Do you think you have one transaction in there?
I think, yeah, for sure. Like, this guy is like, hey, I'm trying to find this property on Bishop Road, can you find where it is, because I see this for sale sign in it. So that guy's already interested in something, and again, I don't know who he is.
Yeah,
I must have
one
bought his lead
transaction.
somewhere.
One transaction will pay for your entire year plus some.
And that's just 3 days with him.
I think the thing that Ashley just said too is important, because I'm getting stuck with that right now with like, oh, I've got to scrub my contacts, right? Because they're old, and I don't even know where half of them came from. And so the feeling like I need to scrub my list, and she just imported it and stuck them into campaigns.
Mhm.
Let them maybe call you and say unsubscribe. That's probably a really smart lesson right there, because you can upload the list very quickly if you're doing the whole thing. Very time consuming if you're trying to scrub your list and putting them in one at a time. So that's probably a good lesson for all of us.
Yeah, because Kelly, I've like 3 of them have been like, stop, and that ends their campaign. So cool. Now I know that they don't need to be followed up with, but at least now I know. And like, instead of just having them sit there and nothing's been done with them, and I paid for all these, I've just never had the time to like sit down and follow up with them, because transactions start.
It's
and
the
you make
power
these
of
goals.
automation.
Yeah.
The
So-
power of automation.
So are you saying you uploaded that offer or whatever thing to your KV Core?
So everything that I had in our old CRM, which just literally kept track of like names and phone numbers, and then we would have to go in and put like, hey, we called this person. So that had like a list that we bought from offers.com last year, and then anybody that we've talked to, like if we get a realtor.com lead or an Opcity lead or a Zillow lead, we'll put that in there. So it's about 550 contacts. So it was all in our old CRM. They show you on KV Core how to make that into an Excel spreadsheet. You put it into the system, they put everything in as a separate contact for you, and then you just have to go in and click. And actually, I think there's a smarter way to do it where you can split your list by buyer and seller and then automate it so everybody goes on a buyer or a seller list. I did it the hard way. So that's a good lesson for everybody. Split your list by buyer, seller, and then you can just put everybody in instead of having to go in and select a campaign for each person. But I'm working my way through the list of putting them, and it's an automated campaign. It'll just say today it texted these people, and it will show you in the system what it said, like, hey, are you looking, or are you an investor? Or it just kind of reads the information in the system and texts and emails people all day. So yeah.
How awesome is that?
Mhm.
Automation, guys, it is so powerful. And as our market gets into spring and we're all insanely busy, the more you can have automated, so it's doing it for you, the smoother you're gonna make your whole year, and the more efficient you'll be with your time. So definitely super excited about those immediate
I love it
results.
already. Yeah. And
Yeah.
the cool thing, I went
She hasn't
through
even,
it.
you haven't even done any like squeeze pages or landing page or any
No,
of that kind
haven't
of
touched the
that is
website,
just
anything.
putting
my leads in.
putting your leads in and
putting them in
assigning
a
them to a campaign.
Yep, and there are some people that I'm like, I don't want them to get an automated campaign because I feel like it would push them, like, they'd be like, no, I don't want the hard pushy sales. So if it's people that I actually have a rapport with, I just don't put them on a campaign. But if it's like people that I don't even remember and I just wanted to like find out if they're still interested, just put them on a campaign and figured it'll bother them until they file a restraining order. So we'll do that.
Always a good
Life
plan.
goals.
Said no one ever. No, that's
It's the
fine.
rule of follow-up, Jen. You follow up until they file a restraining order. Everybody knows that.
Okay. ABC, coffees for closers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so does anybody have any questions or any situations that you want to talk about or brainstorm about while we're here together? It's our question and answer time. We've got about 5+ minutes. Yes, Eric, you aren't allowed to
So-
ask questions. You've already talked. No.
So I did evaluation. The market helps me because I'm like, hey, let's let the market drive it up. But when you're doing evaluation on land, let's say like 24 acres, but the house is like, I mean, it's a cash deal. The house is great for somebody that wants to put a lot of work into it. It's like trying to put a value on something like that is very difficult. Like I know vacant land in Clinton County right now, it's like $6 to $8 grand an acre, depending what the dairy farmers do. But I don't know how to quantify when you got power, you got septic, and you got the bones of a home. I don't know how to, what to assume that could add to it. I guess that's a good question. I kind of went with what Kelly said, and I tried to just piecemeal it. I just kind of go, well, I know the land is this. I found some comps that had homes that needed a lot of work. It took me forever to find them, and I just kind of slapped it together. But do you ever try?
Sometimes if you can't find comps, and now if you're doing large tracts of land with a house on it, give yourself more latitude. Right, you can look in a much larger area than if you're like, if I'm trying to list a house in White Hills, I'm not going to pull comps from Bailey neighborhood, right? It's too far away and it's not the same place. So, but if you're dealing with rural properties where you've got large tracts of land and you've got maybe a house that's okay or not okay, might be a tear down, definitely needs a lot of work, then there's a couple different approaches. You can expand your reach, right? Look in a larger area, or you're going to try and piecemeal together. Hey, land is going for $6,000 to $8,000. So, maybe land on $7,000 an acre, and then look at the house, see if you can find something similar to that in the area, and go with that approach where you're adding them both together. But I mean,
Yeah.
there is a bit of guess in that.
That's why the market saves me, though. I'm like, but you know what? This market's so crazy. It could
It
go
is.
way beyond that. So why don't we go somewhere safe? I could
Yeah.
say $1 and you'll still be okay with all these multiple offer things.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, because look, if you're pricing your properties, and what I'm trying to encourage all of my sellers to do is to price on the lower side. The market is gonna drive your price pretty easily to wherever you wanted, and usually beyond what you could ask or imagine for your house. So let the market drive it. But if you start at that dream price and people think it's overpriced, no one will offer on it. And you'll end up having to lower your price, and
Yep.
you'll get less that way. Even if it's just $5,000 or $10,000 less, because if I price a property at $299 and it sells for $350, that's awesome. But if I had priced it at $350 and no one wrote an offer on it, and I had to drop it to $325, then at that point, I'm probably gonna get $325 or $330, maybe. Right? If I'm making that adjustment, where if I started lower, it will go much higher. If I start high and have to drop it, it's gonna go at asking, below asking, or maybe just a little bit above.
Perfect example of that is this listing in St. John's. They listed at 275, they lowered it to 250, they took it off the market. I come in and I'm like, look, other than having them de-junk the place, I did exactly what you said. I asked Kelly, I listed it too high. I let him talk me into 223. And I said, if you gotta have 240, you gotta go 223. And Kelly explained this to me in the beginning, you know, we gotta drive it up. And it might be lucky, but I got 250. Then I'm sweating out the appraisal. The VA appraisal came at 255, but so I got him back up to that spot, exactly how you said. So that's a good example.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is I've actually been doing a lot of searches for vacant land or vacant land with farmhouses on it. And one thing that I found that drastically changes your comps is whether it's recreational land or tillable land. So when you're comping out the area, make sure that you're taking the type of acreage into account, because there's a difference if it's land that people are going to use for hunting with a house versus if it's tillable land they can rent out. Even if they're not going to farm it themselves, they'll rent it to farmers. So that has a difference on the price. So if you're comping vacant land in that area or going to a bigger
Yeah, that's a good point.
area, focusing more on the type of land, it can be helpful, is what I found, because I did notice there's quite a difference depending on what type of land it is. So
Yeah.
just throwing that out there for anyone.
Yes,
on land.
Anne Marie.
I just wanted to share on what I talked about at the beginning. So, I want to underscore what Eric said about talking to the listing agent.
Yeah.
My out-of-state client was looking for a condominium, which, you know, I mean,
There's like
needle in a
three.
haystack. I had one listed and she was interested in that and she did write on that. She has backup offer, but then she saw another one and she loved it. Apparently she already lived in that development years and years before. So I called the agent. It was still in coming soon. I think it was going to start showings that day or the next day. And I made an appointment, got there. Unfortunately, it was so new that some service person had come and locked the wrong lock and I couldn't get in. So right away I'm having an interaction with him. You know, I mean, that was actually kind of fun, I feel like, because it made us stand out. Oh yeah, we're those people that we were the first ones and we couldn't get in, and then we came the next morning. So at first I felt like he was kind of playing hardball. That the asking price was $89. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, no, 3-bedroom, bath and a half condo on the south side of Lansing, asking $89. My client wanted to offer $85, and I didn't argue with her. I just thought, okay, let's do it. Let's see.
No, yeah, because sometimes they need to understand how the market is, and you never know.
Right, exactly. So the week went on, and a couple days later, I spoke to him and I asked about what offers he had. You know, what could he tell me about them? He said he had 3 others. And one was over asking, and the others were kind of hovering right around asking. And I'm not making this short. Basically, we kept the offer. She offered $85, we kept the offer. But because she has some cash on hand, we did write an escalation clause. We actually kind of wrote a complicated escalation clause, because one thing I said to him is, I'm concerned about the appraisal. I would be surprised if it appraised for more than 90. So what we did is we wrote that if it appraises between 80 and 85,
Mhm,
she'll pay the 85.
mhm.
Or she'll pay up, yeah. Gosh, no, I'm not even remembering. Anyway, I'll send it out. I want to send it out, but
Yeah.
she beat out an offer of $96,000 because those people did not put in any clauses for what would happen if it didn't appraise for that much,
Right,
or any information about how much gap they could fill out.
right.
My person wasn't even pre-approved when we made. the
Yeah,
offer.
I was gonna say, is
And
that
he
the
was
same
treating me like my
person?
name was Stanley, like whatever, you know, get me a pre-approval, we're not even thinking
Yeah.
about this. So within less than 24 hours, we put the pre-approval in, we did not change the offer price, but we made this incremental thing, both an escalation and gap offer, and she was well qualified, she's gonna put down 20%,
Oh,
and
fantastic.
felt like she was a better,
A safer fit,
a
yeah,
safer risk in a way, because they knew they were gonna make certain amounts of money, no
right,
matter what the appraisal was.
right. And then that alleviates a lot of stress. One thing that I will say in this market, when you're working with buyers, and Kelly can tell you too, because she had a similar situation last year on at least one of her listings where, yeah, sure, you can write an offer that's $40,000 over asking, but if it doesn't appraise and you're not guaranteeing, it's a silly offer to entertain. Because as the agent, you need to know where that property is gonna likely appraise. Now, sometimes we get lucky and it appraises for more, but more often it appraises for less than what you think. So make sure when you're writing offers from the buyer perspective that you're being reasonable and realistic. Like, there's no reason to offer $220,000 on $150,000 house. It's not going to appraise. But if you write an offer that's, hey, if it appraises between 80 and 85, I'll pay 85. It appraises between 85 and 90, I'll pay X amount, you know? That makes a lot more sense than going pie in the sky for something that's not ever going to happen. And a lot of these agents are like, yeah, sure, write it for whatever you want. And then when it doesn't appraise, you're just going to drop the price to wherever it appraised at anyway, unless there's a guarantee. So a good strategy, really good strategy. Yeah. Yeah. Bravo on that. And yeah, guys, just keep in mind. And if you have questions about how to structure or write offers or creative things that you can do with offers, please feel free to reach out to other agents, myself, reach out to Kelly, reach out to Danny, heck, currently Anne Marie's quite creative in the way that she's thinking about writing offers. So, you know, just talk to your other agents, come and work in the office. We're here and we are always brainstorming. So great things happen when you come to the office. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's all I've got. Does anybody else have anything they want to add? All right, guys, have a happy March. Write a million this month. We need listings in our market. We're coming on spring. It's going to get crazy.
I'm so excited.
I know, right? All right. You guys have a great day and we'll see you around town.